James Powers' Persuasive Speech 4 for Intro to Speech class. Get these people a glass of wine and a glass of beer quick. Their lives may depend on it. Wouldn't it be great if your doctor actually said that to you instead of just your best friend? Well, it may, you go through life realizing that you hear every day that basically beer and wine and alcohol is bad for you, and that, it causes car accidents, liver disease, you name it. Reality being is that alcohol in moderate amounts is actually good for you. Today, I'd like to, talk to you, my audience, who is a group of 20 to 30-year-olds that enjoy alcohol in one way, form, or fashion, but tend to either overdo it, underdo it, or spend some time in the middle. I want to try to drive you all today to the middle of that line, where moderation can actually be a health benefit for you to actually use alcohol on a day-to-day basis. I know, from my own personal experience, that as I got older, I started looking and realizing that, I eat stuff, doesn't agree with me well. Instead of basically when I was in my teens and my early 20s, where I could drink all night, party all day, eat nachos for dinner, and it was great. But as I've gotten older, naturally that isn't so much. Now I'm paying more attention to what I'm eating and how I'm, basically how I'm taking care of my body. Well, that's now beginning to affect how I drink. So I actually started to slow down drinking and stop drinking at points. I'm beginning to find out, though, through research, that alcohol actually is a benefit and not a hindrance. Today, I want to share some of the basic facts about the benefits that outweigh the negatives when it comes to drinking, and then to teach you the proper uses of alcohol and the proper, and using alcohol in the proper ways. Now, I know what you're thinking, Chris. We all know that alcohol is bad for you, but sometimes, but it's just something that we do when we enjoy it with our friends. I've gotten sick off of drinking, so I know it's bad for me. How are you going to prove to me that it's actually good for me? Well, my answer is simple. Some basic facts and some good background knowledge. I can show you where we've gone off the beaten path. Alcohol has gotten beaten up in recent years for its several connections with diseases and fatalities such as driving while under the influence. What hasn't been shown is how drinking is a positive influence in your life. Well, let's talk a little bit about the bad sides first. Alcohol is associated with loss of brain cells, cirrhosis of the liver, and various cancers and other organs in the body. Drunk driving, according to MAD and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, estimated 11,733 people died last year from drunk driving crashes. That's a little over 31% of all the fatalities by car in 2008. That sounds like a lot. And you would think that naturally that's the reason why we see all the commercials that we do and all of the push to basically reduce drinking. All of those things are true. What you don't hear and what you should be hearing more of, and that's what I'm here to talk to you today about, is that there's a need for a change. When alcohol is handled properly, for example, a New York Times article recently released showed that by Dr. Curtis Ellison, a Boston University physician who champions the benefits of alcohol, he hosted a conference on the subject where the consensus was after that conference with doctors from various fields that in actuality there was prominent health benefits to alcohol. Then, to add on to that, there was an article written for health.com titled, "Is Alcohol Actually Good for You? The Right and Wrong Things About Drinking?" that goes on to show you that in actuality, alcohol in the right, used in the right context will help you with weight loss, diabetes, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. Now that I've kind of shown you a little bit of the good and of course a little bit of the bad, let's talk about how you can enjoy some of this, enjoy some wine for your own benefit. how to drink the right kind of alcohol and the rest in the small amounts in a better life. For example, how to drink. You need, when you have alcohol, you need to actually do it with dinner, for example. 1 or 2 drinks a day is great for you. But in actuality, it's where most people go wrong, is because they don't. They tend to binge drink. Having 1 or 2 drinks of beer, or having 1 or 2 cups of wine, or 1 or 2 cups of beer, or a shot of whiskey a day is wonderful for you. It's when you take it to excess is the problem. A great example of that, for example, is red wine. Red wine by the Mayo Clinic reports that red wine has antioxidants that's also used and seen in oranges and apples. So basically, if you're not into your vegetables, a glass of wine can help out, can help subsidize that. There is also a certain chemical called resveratrol, which is a good form of cholesterol that actually helps reduce the chances of blood clots that causes heart attacks. Now, of course, for our football fans, there are beer. Beer actually contains a folate acid that helps also reduce heart risks. And then my personal favorite, whiskeys, contains more antioxidants in actuality than red wine does. So and also has has been currently been looked at for its ability to kill certain types of cancer as well. So now when you're drinking, realize that there is some health benefits. Alcohol is much like anything else in your life, where if you take a little bit too much, you lose its benefits. But if you actually take it in the right amounts, it's a benefit to you. It helps you out. Now that you know the facts, let's take a look at how you can make this part of your everyday life. Drinking responsibly every day will help bring health benefits, as well as the ability to know how to when to say when. A typical social drinker will drink alcohol with their friends at the local bar. And when you go out and you're drinking with your friends, of course, 1 drink leads on to 2, 2 leads on to 3, and then 3 leads on to 15. That's the problem. You need to actually practice your drinking to be with dinner or at home, where you can actually control your alcohol intake to 1 or 2 glasses at a time. Drinking in small amounts promotes those solid habits, and which then, when you actually then go out and drink socially with your friends, you can realize, I should only have 1 beer, or only have 2 beers, instead of 15. These things will build that social responsibility. Let's review what we've talked about today. We've went over some of the positive and negatives about alcohol. We've talked about why it's good for you and how it's good for you. And then we've went over how you should only have 1 or 2 glasses a day, which shows you how to drink more responsibly. And of course avoids types of alcohol abuse. I hope with this information that you will see the fact that drinking is not actually bad, but it's actually what you drink and how much you drink that actually shows you, that actually provides all that anguish that we see from the drunk driving administrations and so on and so forth. I'm calling to action for you to actually go out into society and provide that information to others, so that people can actually use alcohol responsibly. So it may be hard to get a prescription from your doctor to have just a glass of wine a day, but just remember, when you go to your local bar, notice that there's quite a few old people there having a glass of wine with dinner, perhaps. It's not just necessarily all for entertainment purposes. Thank you.